Somebody sent me a link to a video of a guy criticising me on the internet. I started to watch it, I tried to watch it. Now I waffle, but this guy, goodness me, does he. Was accusing me of not knowing what I'm talking about when it comes to figures in the motor trade. Just to put you in the picture, for the last 50 years, I've spent achieving targets. In order to achieve your targets, you've got to understand them. You've got to understand the market. You've got to understand what the manufacturers are asking you to do and how they're asking you to do it. Quick one. This bit isn't sponsored, but it is my personal recommendation. I use the Hilo band for blood pressure tracking, and it's honestly been a godsend for me. Super easy to use, and I get a much more realistic picture than a one-off reading at the doctor. If you use my link, you get 20% off plus a 12-month subscription, and I get £25 if your referral is successful. So thanks if you do. The link's in the description. On with the video. Sometimes there's a bit of subterfuge involved, and that's kind of manipulating the market. That's what the EV people are doing now. Trust me, that's how I've hit my targets over the year. I understand it better than the manufacturers, and I certainly understand it better than the guy that I saw who was criticising me. As I say, I couldn't watch it all, but he did say that I didn't understand it. I don't know what he does for a living, but if he was in the car industry, then I'm afraid he wasn't very good at it, and it's a good job he's got out too. The EV people, their attitude. What is stopping electric vehicles catching on? They drive okay. They don't drive fantastic. They don't drive better than a nice car. If anybody tells you they do, they don't. But they're boring. Honestly, there's just nothing about them. They've just, I don't know what it is. They don't drive better than a nice car. And to be honest, they're not significantly quieter. In fact, all the stuff that they say is better isn't really. And then you get the attitude of these people, these electric people. I noticed this chap, Peter Haig. Let's just have a look. Because I remember when I looked, it surprised me. Peter Haig, solutionist, astrophysics PhD, and scientific software engineer. Dad of two. Let's colonise the solar system together. No, Pete, you first. You go. I'll be right behind you. Not. Please visit the link below to read my blog. UK EV drivers watching public charging VAT drop to 5% at the same time as a global oil price spike. Enjoy queuing at the petrol station, guys, and a wink. So there's a war going on. People are getting killed, getting bombed right, left and centre. Innocent people getting bombed. And he thinks that's a good way to put it across. That's a plus for EVs. That's how desperate they are. A plus is that there's an oil shortage because there's a war. That's a plus. Desperate. Absolutely desperate, and honestly, the more interaction I have with these EV people, the more I like my petrol car. Seriously, they're just not right. Of course, he's answered everybody else, but I've put gloating about price hikes caused by death and war, a new low even for the EV mouthpieces. As I say, he's answered everybody but me. So let's get back to the figures. I have been told that he's used my name in the video time and time again, and also it was used in the title. Well, all that is just an attempt for him to get more subscribers, because I've got a lot more subscribers than he has. And you know how I know that? I do the same with Jeff Buys Cars. Thanks, Jeff. So these figures that I'm not understanding. Let's take a look at this month's. I said that EV registrations were down massively. I think it was 38% in January from December. December's the worst month of the year for selling cars when you're actually selling them, but it's the easiest month to register a load and pretend that your percentage has gone up massively. However, as you would have seen from petrol and diesels, petrol registrations went up, and so did diesel registrations in January. Electric vehicles went down. That tells you something. Then we go to February. Okay, February, that's another shit month. But do you know what's happened this month? Do you know what I'm aware of? Some manufacturers have told their dealers to forget about the ZEV mandate and sell petrols, sell what they can, because they're not making any money. And in order to make it look like they're achieving the ZEV mandate, they're having to limit the sale of petrols. Oh, they don't do that, Baz. Yes, they do. And you know what else happens? If they don't register a certain percentage of electric vehicles, then they don't get the manufacturer's bonuses. And that can amount to about 5% of the vehicle. It's a massive amount that the dealers are getting fined over the years. Now, say they make 12%. Okay, I've been out of the new car job for a while, but what they used to do, you used to get 10% and they used to hold 2% back to give you as your overrider, your manufacturing bonus, if you hit the other targets, the other hoops they set you to jump through. So say it was only 2%. I've heard it's more than 2% now. I've heard it can be as much as 5%. So if they make 12% and 5% held back, subject to achieving your targets, 7%, they make 7%. Say they give some discount off the vehicle. Say they give 2% discount. Well, they're certainly giving more on EVs. Now, it's looking like a good deal to tell the manufacturers to shove their EV target, to shove the overrider bonus, to make them jump through hoops, shove the manufacturer's bonus, the bonus that they're using as blackmail, a big stick to make them jump through hoops and to make them register so many electric vehicles. Now, I've become aware of that this month. Guess what's happened this month? Electric sales in February, one of the other easiest months to fudge figures, their percentage has gone down because I think the manufacturers have all but given up on the ZEV target this year. It's 33%. They're about 22, 2/3. They're at 2/3 in the two easiest months to fudge the target. They're not going to do it. Let's see the evangelists explain this month too how they've lost their percentage. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.